Welcome back to our channel Valuable Coins HD, where we journey into the fascinating world of rare coins, uncover hidden treasures, and explore the incredible stories behind the money that has quietly shaped history. Today, we're going to focus on an iconic American coin that has captivated collectors for decades, the Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1950. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary penny, the kind you've probably handled countless times, but this little coin holds a story, a history, and a value that might astonish you. Stay with me until the end because the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a prime example of how everyday coins can become extraordinary treasures. Let's start by stepping back into the year 1950. America was in a period of post-World War II growth and transformation. Harry S. Truman was president, and the nation was experiencing significant social and economic changes. Families were building homes, industries were booming, and the country was looking forward to a new era of opportunity. During this time, the Lincoln Wheat Penny was in everyday circulation, appearing in cash registers, piggy banks, and pockets across the nation. Millions of these pennies were minted and used, yet only a few have survived in pristine condition, making them highly sought after by collectors today. The Lincoln Wheat Penny has a rich and storied history that began in 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, breaking away from the traditional allegorical designs used previously. On the obverse, Lincoln's profile faces right, a dignified and thoughtful representation of one of America's greatest presidents. Surrounding his image, you'll see the motto, "In God We Trust," at the top, Liberty, to the left, and the date, 1950, to the right. Some pennies from this year also bear a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, while others were minted in Philadelphia and have no mint mark at all. These mint marks, small as they are, play a critical role in determining rarity and value. Turning the coin over, you'll see the iconic wheat ears design, which gives the Lincoln Wheat Penny its name. Two stalks of wheat flank the words, 1 cent, while United States of America appears at the bottom. At the top, E Pluribus Unum is proudly inscribed, emphasizing the nation's unity. The wheat design, simple yet elegant, symbolizes prosperity and growth, capturing the spirit of America during the early to mid-20th century. This reverse design remained in use until 1958, making it instantly recognizable and historically significant. So, what makes the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special today? The key lies in its rarity, condition, and appeal to collectors. While millions of pennies were produced in 1950, very few have survived in uncirculated, pristine condition. Most were used in everyday transactions, resulting in wear, scratches, and loss of detail over the decades. A penny that has been carefully preserved, retaining its original luster and sharpness, is a rare find and highly coveted in the numismatic community. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for pennies that have survived time almost perfectly, making careful preservation incredibly valuable. Beyond condition, certain 1950 Lincoln Wheat Pennies have unique features or errors that make them even more desirable. These can include double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies that distinguish them from the standard issues. Such error coins are considered treasures because they are one-of-a-kind artifacts, capturing the imperfections and quirks of the minting process. Owning one of these rare coins is not just a financial investment, it's holding a tangible piece of American history, a small artifact that connects us to the past. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny also represents an era in American coinage that many collectors find fascinating. This was a time when the U.S. Mint was balancing mass production with craftsmanship, and subtle variations or errors still occurred. For collectors, this creates excitement, as even coins that appear ordinary can hide extraordinary value. The 1950 penny embodies this perfectly, a coin that may seem small and common but holds the potential to be a remarkable discovery in a collection. Collectors know that the value of coins like the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just in their face value but in their rarity, condition, and historical significance. These pennies are a reminder that even the most everyday objects can become extraordinary treasures with the passage of time, proper care, and a bit of luck. Holding a well-preserved 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny is like holding a small piece of history, a snapshot of mid-century America, a coin that has quietly witnessed decades of change. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. A 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny in exceptional, uncirculated condition, particularly one with a rare minting anomaly, can be worth an astonishing $64,000. It's incredible to think that a coin originally worth just 1 cent could hold such extraordinary value today. This is the beauty and thrill of coin collecting. Ordinary objects from everyday life can transform into remarkable treasures when preserved, discovered, and appreciated. So, the next time you come across a 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny in a jar of coins, a forgotten drawer, or a long-forgotten collection, take a close look. You could be holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. Today, we're shining a spotlight on a remarkable coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but holds a special place in American numismatics, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny. While this penny may have circulated in pockets and cash registers across America for decades, its value today could surprise you. Stay tuned until the very end, because this small coin packs a big punch in the world of collectors. Let's take a journey back to 1951. America was experiencing a period of post-war growth and optimism. Harry S. Truman was president, the nation was navigating the early years of the Cold War, and the economy was growing steadily. Families were settling into new homes, industries were booming, and everyday life included the small, yet significant, exchange of coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny. Millions of these pennies were produced and used in daily transactions, yet few have survived in the pristine condition that collectors prize today. That's what makes the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny a hidden gem among everyday coins. The Lincoln Wheat Penny has a rich history dating back to 1909, when it was introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin broke tradition by featuring the portrait of a real person for the first time in U.S. coinage. On the obverse, you'll find a dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right. Surrounding his image are the words, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty," to the left, and the year, 1951, to the right. Depending on the mint, there may also be a small mint mark, D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, while Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark. These seemingly small details are incredibly important to collectors because they help determine rarity, historical context, and value. The reverse of the coin features the iconic wheat ears design, which gives this series its name. 2 stalks of wheat frame the denomination 1 cent, with United States of America inscribed below. At the top, E pluribus unum completes the design, emphasizing the unity of the nation. The wheat ears symbolize prosperity, growth, and the promise of the American dream, a fitting design for a nation rebuilding and expanding after the challenges of the Great Depression and World War II. This reverse design remained in circulation until 1958, making it instantly recognizable and historically significant. What truly sets the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny apart in today's market is its rarity, condition, and appeal to collectors. Although millions of pennies were minted in 1951, very few have survived in uncirculated, pristine condition. Most coins show signs of wear from decades of handling, scratches, discoloration, or a loss of sharpness in Lincoln's portrait or the wheat design. Coins that have been carefully preserved, retaining their original luster and details, are extremely rare and highly sought after by numismatists. A single well-preserved 1951 penny can instantly elevate a collection and attract significant attention at auctions. In addition to condition, certain 1951 pennies may have unique minting anomalies that make them even more desirable. Collectors often search for double dies, off-center strikes, and other subtle errors that create one-of-a-kind coins. These rare varieties are highly prized because they tell a story about the minting process, the craftsmanship of the era, and the chance quirks that make each coin unique. Holding a 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with such an anomaly is like holding a tiny piece of history, a coin that carries a story far beyond its face value. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny also represents a fascinating moment in American coinage history. The U.S. Mint was balancing mass production with attention to detail, and even in a time of high output, subtle variations and errors could occur. For collectors, this creates excitement and opportunity. Coins that seem ordinary at first glance may actually hide extraordinary value for those who know how to look closely. The 1951 penny exemplifies this perfectly, a small, everyday object with the potential to be a highly prized collectible. Collectors know that the true value of a coin like the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny lies not in its 1-cent face value, but in its rarity, condition, historical significance, and the thrill of discovery. These coins are reminders that even the most common objects can become remarkable treasures when preserved, discovered, and appreciated. Holding a well-preserved 1951 penny is like holding a tiny time capsule from mid-20th century America, a piece of history that has quietly witnessed decades of change. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. A 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny in exceptional, uncirculated condition, particularly one with a rare minting anomaly, can be worth an astonishing $72,000. It's truly remarkable to think that a coin originally worth just 1 cent could command such extraordinary value today. This is the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary items from daily life can transform into priceless treasures with the passage of time, careful preservation, and a keen eye for rarity. So the next time you come across a 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, whether in a jar of coins, an old collection, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer, take a closer look. You could be holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. Today, we are focusing on an iconic piece of American numismatic history, the Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1952. You might think of it as just a simple penny, the kind you've probably held in your pocket countless times, but today we'll explore why this small coin holds immense value, both historically and financially. Stick around until the end, because the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of those coins that could surprise you with its worth. Let's step back to the year 1952. America was in a time of transition and growth. Harry S. Truman was in the final year of his presidency, the Cold War was shaping global politics, and the economy was steadily improving after the post-war boom. Families were buying homes, industries were expanding, and everyday life included handling coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny on a daily basis. Millions of these pennies were minted and spent in commerce, yet only a fraction have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. This is what makes the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny so appealing to collectors today. It is a small, seemingly ordinary coin with extraordinary potential. The Lincoln Wheat Penny has a legacy dating back to 1909, when it was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin marked a major shift in U.S. coinage, as it was the first coin to feature the portrait of a real person rather than an allegorical figure. On the obverse, you'll find Lincoln's profile, facing right, capturing both his dignity and his enduring presence in American history. Surrounding his image, "In God We Trust," is inscribed at the top, Liberty appears to the left, and the date, 1952, is to the right. Some pennies carry a small mint mark, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, while others from Philadelphia have no mint mark at all. These details may seem minor, but they play a crucial role in the rarity, historical significance, and value of each coin. Flipping the coin over, you'll see the wheat ears design that gives the series its name. 2 wheat stalks frame the denomination, 1 cent, with United States of America at the bottom and E pluribus unum at the top. This classic design, used from 1909 to 1958, symbolizes growth, prosperity, and the enduring spirit of America. The intricate details of the wheat stalks and Monticello-inspired design are more than just aesthetic. They reflect the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint during a period of high-quality production and careful attention to detail. What makes the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special to collectors today is its rarity and condition. Although millions of these pennies were produced, very few have survived in uncirculated, mint condition. Most were handled in everyday transactions, leading to wear, scratches, and a loss of fine details on Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks. Coins that have been carefully preserved over the decades, maintaining their original luster and sharp design details, are extremely rare and highly coveted by collectors. A single well-preserved 1952 penny can elevate a collection and attract serious attention from numismatists. In addition to condition, certain 1952 pennies may feature unique minting anomalies that can dramatically increase their value. Collectors actively search for double dies, off-center strikes, and other subtle errors that distinguish one coin from another. These anomalies are highly prized because they provide insight into the minting process and make each coin a one-of-a-kind artifact. Owning a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a minting error is like holding a tangible piece of history, a coin that tells a story beyond its simple 1-cent face value. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny also represents an era in American coinage that collectors find particularly fascinating. This was a time when the U.S. Mint was producing coins in massive quantities, yet attention to detail and occasional subtle errors made each piece unique. Even coins that appear ordinary at first glance may hide extraordinary value, and the 1952 penny exemplifies this perfectly. A coin that might seem small and everyday can turn out to be a highly prized collectible with the right eye and knowledge. Collectors understand that the true value of a coin like the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny lies in more than just its face value. Its rarity, condition, historical significance, and potential minting anomalies all contribute to its desirability. These pennies are reminders that even the simplest objects can become extraordinary treasures with time and proper care. Holding a well-preserved 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny is like holding a tiny piece of mid-20th century American history, a coin that has silently witnessed decades of change and prosperity. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. A 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny in exceptional, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting anomaly, can be worth an astonishing $63,000. It's truly amazing to think that a coin originally worth just 1 cent could hold such incredible value today. This is the magic and thrill of coin collecting. Ordinary objects from everyday life can transform into remarkable treasures when preserved, discovered, and appreciated. So, the next time you come across a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny, whether in a jar of coins, an old collection, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer, take a closer look. You could be holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. Today, we are turning our attention to a small yet incredibly significant coin, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, it might appear to be just another penny, something that passed through countless hands over the decades. But as we'll discover, this tiny coin carries a rich history, unique design, and a value that could astonish you. Stay with me until the end, because the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a true gem in the world of coin collecting. Let's travel back to the year 1953. America was enjoying a period of post-war stability and growth. Dwight D. Eisenhower had just been inaugurated as president, and the nation was looking forward to a decade of prosperity and innovation. Families were settling into new homes, industries were expanding, and daily life was accompanied by the small clink of coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny. Millions of these pennies were minted and spent in everyday transactions, yet only a fraction have survived in uncirculated, pristine condition. That's what makes the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny such a fascinating collectible. It's a coin that represents everyday history, yet holds extraordinary value in the hands of a knowledgeable collector. The Lincoln Wheat Penny has a rich legacy that began in 1909, introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This was the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real person rather than an allegorical figure, marking a revolutionary change in coin design. On the obverse, Lincoln's profile faces right, exuding dignity and strength. Surrounding him are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1953, to the right. Coins from this year may also feature a mint mark, D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, while Philadelphia coins have no mint mark. These small details are critical to collectors because they often determine rarity, historical significance, and value. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic wheat ears design, which gives this series its name. Two elegant wheat stalks flank the words, 1 cent, with United States of America inscribed at the bottom. At the top, the motto, E Pluribus Unum, reflects the unity of the nation. The wheat ears design symbolizes prosperity, growth, and the promise of the American dream, perfectly capturing the optimism of post-war America. The details on these coins, from the delicate lines of the wheat stalks to the clarity of Lincoln's profile, are a testament to the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint during this era. So what makes the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special in today's market? The answer lies in its rarity, condition, and appeal to collectors. While millions of pennies were produced that year, very few have survived in mint, uncirculated condition. Most have been circulated extensively, showing signs of wear, scratches, and fading over the decades. Coins that have been carefully preserved, maintaining their original luster and detail, are rare and highly coveted. Collectors recognize the value of a well-preserved 1953 penny because it represents a tangible piece of history, a coin that has remained virtually unchanged for over 6 decades. In addition to condition, certain 1953 pennies have unique features or minting anomalies that can make them even more valuable. These could include double dies, off-center strikes, or subtle errors that occurred during production. Error coins are particularly prized because they are one-of-a-kind, telling a story about the minting process and the quirks of production at the time. For collectors, discovering a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny with such an anomaly is like finding a hidden treasure in plain sight, a small, everyday coin with extraordinary significance. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny also represents a fascinating era in American coinage history. The U.S. Mint was producing coins in large quantities, yet attention to detail and occasional errors created opportunities for collectors to find something truly unique. Even coins that seem ordinary at first glance may hide incredible value for those who know what to look for. The 1953 penny exemplifies this perfectly, a small coin that is simple in appearance but can be a highly prized addition to any collection. Collectors understand that the true value of a coin like the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny comes from a combination of factors: rarity, condition, historical context, and the potential for minting anomalies. These pennies are reminders that even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary treasures when preserved and appreciated. Holding a well-preserved 1953 penny is like holding a tiny piece of mid-20th century America, a coin that quietly witnessed decades of history, change, and growth. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. A 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny in exceptional, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting anomaly, can be worth an astonishing $57,700. It's remarkable to think that a coin originally worth just 1 cent could hold such extraordinary value today. This is the beauty of coin collecting: the smallest, most commonplace objects can transform into incredible treasures when discovered, preserved, and understood. So, if you ever come across a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny in a collection, a jar of old coins, or tucked away in a drawer, take a careful look. You might be holding a piece of history worth a small fortune.